Say hi. Say hi, I'm so cute. Oh, baby. Hello beautiful makeup lovers and welcome back to my channel. I am going to be playing around again with the new Cosmic Brushes Delicious Delights palette and the Frosting Highlighter palette because I can't get enough of these. I do have a first impressions and swatches video that I will link down below if you haven't checked that one out already. But I wanted to do a couple more looks for you with this palette because I was blown away. Spoiler, the first time that I use this. So I definitely want to use this a little bit more, use some more of the shades. And there is one of the highlighters that I didn't try, which is the Blueberry Muffin. Like I say, all the details for this palette and all the swatches and all of that good stuff will be in my first video. This is just me playing around again and going into that Blueberry Muffin shade now to... Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. I've just built it up even more and now... now people can see me from space. Oh, look how stunning that blue is. It's definitely like an ultraviolet sort of bluey purple. It is stunning and I may have gone a little bit crazy. Oh, I do also have an affiliated code with Cosmic Brushes now. Thank you so much to Cosmic Brushes. They are one of my favourite indie brands and the code is Kerry K if you want to save some pennies when you buy anything from the website. This highlighter palette, man. This little highlighter palette, £16 and I love it. Let's go back into the eyeshadow now. I definitely want to test out some of the blues today. I did have a few comments on my last video asking me to use the blues, so of course that is what I'm going to do. The blues are on the bottom row. I'm going to use some of these. Don't know if I'm going to combine them with... I'm probably going to combine the blues with some of the other shades, aren't I? Because this palette is too delicious just to stick to one monochromatic look for me. I'm thinking I might do something a bit crazy today. My first impressions video, I loved the look that I did, but it is more on the tame side for me. Sometimes I just like to do like crazy shapes and colours and combinations, so maybe we'll be a little bit more crazy today. We'll see. Okay, so I think I want to start out with the shade Slushy, which is this nice blue here, and I'm going to kind of pack that on the outer corner area. Now this will look crazy until the end and then it will still look crazy, but we're going to see what these blues are like and we're just going to play around, have some fun. I don't really have an actual plan per se, I just know I want it to be a little bit more funky today and this blue is real nice. Kind of want to drag it out a little bit today, I think that might be the plan. I might deepen up this blue with the deeper purple because the purple is the deepest shade in this palette, so I might use a little bit of that just to add a little bit more depth. But yeah, I'm going to go a little bit crazy with this blue. As you can see, I'm already sort of winging it out a bit. And I need to get this video filmed and sorted because I am a big Wimbledon fan. And Wimbledon is now on and I love to watch it. So my afternoons generally are going to be taken up with that for the next week or so. That blue has applied absolutely beautifully, like stunning, 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 stunning. Then I'm going to go into the deep purple, I think, just to deepen it up a little bit, and then we'll go into the lighter blue. Which blue? Should we go into Ice Pop as well? I think those are the next shades I'm going to be working with, but let's deepen up first with Charms, just in the outer corner on the top of this blue shade. When I use blues and purples together like this, it kind of reminds me of a slushie, and I love the aesthetic colours of a slushie. Is that just me? Okay, that is building on top beautifully. That is doing exactly what I want it to do. The tones together are absolutely stunning, and I will go back in with that first blue again just to go around the edges of where I placed this deeper purple. And I actually cleaned all my makeup brushes last night and wiped all my table down and everything, got rid of all the dust and eyeshadow particles, so that always makes me happy when I sit down to film the next time. So I'm enjoying that right now. Back into Slushy. I've just realised I was talking about slushies and the slushy colours, and this is called Slushy. And it's only Tuesday and my brain is still not working. That's interesting. Okay, then I'm going to go into that shade Ice Pop that we talked about. What brush do I want for Ice Pop? I just want to kind of... Oh, wow. that is a vibrant pastel blue. Wow. I'm just going to plop it around the edges first, then I'm going to take a bigger brush and I think I'm going to really extend this out a lot more. Wow, that blue. Absolutely incredible. Okay, so taking the Ice Pop, and I really want to sort of blow this out more than what it already is. I'm going to go bit by bit and not too crazy all at once. Kind of taking it through the tail of my brow as well. Just going to ignore the fact that my eyebrow's there and just kind of do the placement that I want to do. Then I'm going to take a little bit of Slushy and just do the same thing and just extend that Slushy shade out just a little bit further into that pastel. And then even a bit of the Charm shade, which was the deeper purple. Just kind of like fluff that toward that dragged out part as well. Okay, we're looking bold, vibrant. I just want to make sure that the blend is how I want it to be before we move on, and it is dragged out to the extent that I want it to be, but those blues together are absolutely gorgeous. Then I want to go into the greens, I think. I want to use the shade Lollipop, which I haven't used yet. And I'm going to kind of focus this here to begin with. I know this is a bit of a weird placement. I'm going to do sort of a weird cut creasy moment, I think. Let's just trust the process. Then I want to go around that shade, maybe with a little bit of minty, maybe with a little bit of zesty as well, and just work on sort of a blend around this part before we go in and try and do anything cut creasy. Oh, that zesty shade next to those mints is lovely. Just going to re-intensify that deeper Lollipop minty shade. Should we go with something a little bit deeper on top of that as well? Maybe we'll go back into a little bit of Charms just to go on top of this. Ooh. Okay, let me jump off and cut the places that I want to cut because right now I'm looking a bit insane. Okay, I can't remember where I left you. Things happened. There was wiping going on, I'm not gonna lie. Not everything always goes to plan. My mirror is now dying. But we endeavour to carry on. I didn't want to sack off the whole look, so I did sort of cut here, keep it all sort of upward, and I did kind of put a thing here. I'm not quite sure what that is yet, but we're going to work with that. And I think I want to use some shimmers. I think I'm going to use the shade Fizzy, which is this nice tealy shimmer here, just to go in this little strange thing that I've done. And I think I will go around that with some water activated liner just to make it pop and stand out that little bit more. Okay, I did just use my Arttitude Cosmetics Split It Painter's Paradise palette, and I did use this light blue. This was gifted to me from the brand and I use it all the time, and I thought this nice pastel blue would be nice just to go around the very edges. And I underestimated how creasy and hooded my eyes were for this type of look, but we're going to continue. I think for the lower lash line, I'm going to stick to more of the bluey purples, but I think I'm going to go into Sweetie, which is this one here, and we haven't used that one yet. And just want to kind of smoke out this lower lash line, but still kind of keep it on the same type of colours. I don't actually know what I'm doing now. I'm kind of creating some sort of double wing situation. Are they equal? And I have a cat trying to put me off. Like, how am I supposed to work under these conditions, baby? I know you want to be with me, but Mummy's being crazy right now with eyeshadow. Let's not put your paw in the palette. Say hi. Say hi, I'm so cute. Oh, baby. I can't tell if this is going to be good or if this is going to be horrific at this point. When I do crazy looks like this, I don't usually film, I just do them for Instagram. So this is interesting that you're actually on this little process with me of me like, do I just wipe all of this off? Is this gonna look okay at the end? I think I want to take the shade Delicious, if you're still with me for this, on my finger and just put this on the lid where there wasn't any mattes. Oh, that's such a pretty shade. It's more of a taupery shade. Oh, look at that. Oh. I'm hoping this is all going to come together at the end. I'm still very much doubting right now. Maybe I'll use a little bit of the Delicious shade under the eye as well. At this point, I mean, anything goes because this is crazy. At this point, let me jump off, finish this look. I'm interested to see how it's going to turn out, probably just as much as you. And let's have our fingers crossed that it looks okay. Okay, we got there in the end. That was a little process, let me tell you right now. I do actually really like it now. Now that I've added gems, I did line the edges of where I did the double wing with my, where's it gone? With the same Split It Painter's Paradise palette from Arttitude that matches the lining that I did in here. I did add a few little gems up here as well. I stuck on some Arttitude Cosmetics lashes in the style Eternity. I'm not sure if you can get these anymore, but if you can, I will link them down below. And I did use my blue lip gloss from Glamlight. It's one of the ice ones. And for the waterline, I did go in with my Colourpop Prance eyeliner. Overall, now it's all come together. I think it's very striking, it's very different, it's very bold. I know it's not going to be for everybody and that's absolutely fine, but sometimes you just want to sit down and you want to play with makeup, and sometimes it goes a little bit wrong and you're not in love with it and you have to change it, you have to wipe a little bit. But I'm really glad that I actually continued, because actually overall I really like how this looks come together now, and it's definitely different from what I usually do on my channel. I don't often do looks like this unless it's maybe a live, something like that, but please do let me know what you think down below, and let's dive in to the second look. So for look number 2, before I start, I want to use a different shade of the highlighter palette again. I think this time I'm going to use, shall we use a little bit of Cinnamon Swirl, which is sort of the pinky toned highlight. I don't know if I'm happy with my decision. I might go into a little bit of Golden Apple as well on top, because the look I want to do today isn't necessarily going to be fully pink, so we're just going to add a lot of highlight, I'm thinking. So firstly, I think I'm going to start out with the shade Charms, which is the deepest purple, just to get my depth and shape in the outer corner. I don't want to take this out too far. I have been known to do that. Okay, now I've sort of got the placement where I want it, I'm just going to take a brush and wiggle on the very edges of this purple before I go in with the next shade, just to encourage the blend a little bit more, and it'll make it a little bit easier when we come to add the next shade. But I do go back and forth between the shades more than once just to make sure that the blend is how I want it to be. Then I'm going to go in with the shade Smoothie, which is the bright pink shade, and I'm just going to tickle that on the very edges of the purple, mainly a little bit on the purple to begin with, and just start slowly adding a little bit of pink on these edges. Not trying to make it a huge focus, just tickling those edges. And back in with the purple to make sure the blend is how I want it to be. In fact, I'm going to use a different brush just to make sure the blend is exactly how I want it and we don't lose the purple. I'm just going to re-intensify and blend between these two shades. Then I want to use the shade Gingerbread, which I haven't used yet, which is this orange here, and then I think we're going to go into Buttercream, which is the yellow. So very carefully just popping a bit of gingerbread around the edges. And orange and purple don't blend together, but that's why we've got the pink there sandwiched between them, to make sure the blend isn't going to get muddy and it's going to look okay. And if it doesn't look okay, I will add a little bit more of the pink, just to make sure it's looking how I want it to be. But that is the difference when I've added the orange and when the pink is there alone. Back in with a little bit of the pink, just to make sure it is blending nicely. Then I'm going to go into that Buttercream yellow shade and again go around the very edges, and then I'll go back in with the orange. So it's just a process of going back and forth between the different shades, and I do find it useful to use different brushes for the different shades just so that it doesn't get too muddy and you're keeping them separate. And I am going to pack more of this yellow shade toward the inner corner of this look. Maybe a little bit of the orange as well, maybe. And I'm not worried about what's happening on the lid because I am going to be going over all of that with a shimmer. I'm just more bothered about what is on the outside. So I need to go back through all of those shades again, work on the blend and re-intensify. And I'm just doing the same thing on the lower lash line, just to make sure it's very cohesive to what's happening above. And then we're gonna go in with some shimmer. I'm thinking Fizzy or Sugar Plum. Or maybe even Sprinkles is like the perfect shade for a sunset eye. Choices. First, I think I'm going to use Delicious, which is the toppery shade toward the inner corner. Then we're going to go into Sugar Plum. So I have sprayed this shade. Oof, I'm getting a bit of fallout, probably the brush that I'm using, but I'm going to pack this toward the inner corner portion and build it up a little bit. Okay, spraying Sugar Plum, and we're just going to pop this all over the lid right up to that purple, because a blue shimmer with a sunset eye is stunning. Oh, look at that shade. Oh, it's like an ocean you can just dive into. Maybe now I'm thinking I should have gone for the blueberry muffin highlighter, but hey ho, hey ho. Okay, let me jump off, do the finishing touches to this look, and then we'll see how it looks and compare it to look number 1 and see which is our favourite. I am loving how this look has come together. This is my favourite look. I'm sorry I had to say it already. Although I loved the first look, I feel like this one, there's just something about it, especially when I added the little butterflies. The little butterflies I think I just got from Amazon. I'm not sure I'll be able to find them again to link them, but if you just type in nail gems, actually they could be from Shein. They could be from Shein. They're just all different colours of butterflies, so I stuck those on just to add a little bit more sparkle and interest. They look super cute on the edges. I love a sunset eye. Let me actually adjust my mirror so I don't have to keep... Oh, can you see it? Is it annoying? I love a sunset eye because as well it includes orange. Orange is one of my favourite colours to work with, as well as purple, and that blue sort of ultraviolet-y shimmer on the lid just makes this look. Now I did also use my Lethal Cosmetics liquid lipstick in Overfly, which I think is kind of like a nice muted orange to go with this look. I didn't want anything too bright. I wanted the eyes to speak for themselves, but everything that I've used in this video should be linked in the description box down below. Let me know what you think to this look, let me know what you think to the first look, and which one is your favourite out of the two. I love doing completely different looks from the same palette, and I was so happy to play around again with this gorgeous beauty because this is one of my favourites in my collection. I can already tell you that, and I've used it how many times now? 3 times, and I haven't used every single shade, but I have used a lot of the shades, and every single shade I've used I've not had a problem with. Some of the shimmers are a little bit more difficult to pick up than others depending on what type of brush you're using. I feel like if you use one of the flat goat's hair brushes, that works a little bit better to pick up the shimmers, but I have to say I love the variety in here. Still, the fact that we have a topper shade, a very intense multi-chrome, and then the other shimmers are just beautiful as well. The mattes are pigmented, blendable. I'm not sure how buildable they are. I think they're buildable to an extent with that deep purple. I definitely was able to build with this in the first video that I did because I didn't start out with that as my first shade. This colour story is just a dream to me, and the fact that we still have depth in here and the shimmers are so interesting. Like the whole aesthetic, I'm not going to go over it all again. You know how much I love cosmic brushes. And the highlighter palette, very, very blinding if you build it up, which I love. I don't mind a blinding highlight whatsoever. You can obviously keep it a little bit more subtle if you don't go in with as much product as I generally do. Thank you so much for checking out this video, guys. If you could leave me a like and a comment, that would be amazing. Thank you to everyone that stays until the very end. I will link my socials down below, as well as my Patreon group and my YouTube membership. And hopefully I'll see you again in my next video. Bye!